good day to stay on. Now's your chance.
Hello and welcome back to episode number 68 of the TNC podcast. For all of you listening on iTunes and SoundCloud, welcome back. It might sound slightly more tinny than last week. We had the wonderful Max here. He's unfortunately, I think, drunk himself into oblivion. We numbed. He had to numb the pain slightly. When I went to pick him up, he said, "I need to go get one more thing, Jack." It wasn't a camera, it was a bottle of wine. And he sat in the corner and drank it. It sounded lovely, it looked lovely, but Max, we're thinking of you. I'm sure you're fine. How are you, Chris? Just me and you this week. Good to see you, mate.
Thank you very much, Jack. How was Sweden?
Yeah, it was lovely, actually.
Sweden.
A real pleasure to kind of go and see the
land of Matti Svensson.
I was going to say Johan Elmander, but
he's the greatest Sweden history. From the town of Boren, he is going to make history.
Definitely.
One of my favourite Norwich chants.
I was surprised to see a lot of kind of noise around Zlatan Ibrahimovic while I was out there. When there's a far greater striker that's graced Sweden's pitches.
Well, absolutely.
Johan Elmander. Talking about another Scandinavian striker, Teemu Pukki. That was a nice link, wasn't it? Fansbet. You know Fansbet?
I know them very well.
We love Fansbet. They are doing the special of all specials. They are doing 6-1 on Teemu Pukki to score and Norwich to win by 2 goals or more. That rhymes.
That's very... That's easy, isn't it?
That reeks of cash.
I tell you what else reeks of cash. Just to be neutral here, because we have had some stick from promoting certain offers. So I'll promote another offer.
Okay.
Of course, I will be going through Fansbet. I've gone for Buendia to score and a Norwich win.
I love that from you.
Banker. Clip this up, remember it.
Yeah, and links in the description if you want to head over to Fansbet and make sure your fan partner is TalkNorwichCity.
One last thing.
Yeah,
on a serious note, please, I know that we have a young audience. If you're going to bet, please bet responsibly. One of the things that I do is I keep a note on my phone.
Yeah, you're a bit... Yeah, you've got...
No.
I'm saying it's lovely.
Good. Write down the money that you've spent and the money that you've won and keep a track on it.
Yeah.
We're not just promoting gambling needlessly. We are both very sensible gamblers. So, seriously, take it responsibly.
And remember to be 18. Chris, I wanted to pick up on something slightly serious, and that's bullying. Lots of bullying with my jumper last week. It was... No.
Well, I threw you in with that social post, didn't I?
I think the definition of bullying is nasty things said on a consistent basis by multiple people.
And Huck's got involved, didn't he?
Look, you might remember last week I was wearing a turtleneck, a striped turtleneck. It was new. I spent my hard-earned money on it.
How much did that cost, by the way?
It wasn't that. I think it was like £40. It was warm. It was thick wool. Look, I had a lot of abuse. Ex-players dived in on it. You dived in it.
Journos,
my girlfriend.
Your girlfriend?
Yeah.
You didn't tell me that. Oh my god!
So
your actual missus said that she didn't like it.
I think it grew on her.
Okay. Good.
But so I did what all good people would do in adversity and wear it even more. And the Swedes loved it.
Good, I'm pleased.
A very warm neck.
Did you leave it in Sweden?
No, I brought it to home.
Right. Good.
Yeah,
maybe bring it out for the Christmas special.
Yeah, maybe.
Do that.
Anyway, let's talk about Norwich and Norwich being top of the Championship. Oh, mate, what's going on at the moment?
I just don't know. I keep telling myself it's got to stop,
yeah,
but it doesn't. It keeps feeding me. It keeps giving me so much joy. I mean, I just looked at that game and I thought, this is going to be really tough.
Yeah.
Swansea, on paper, of course, fresh down from the Premier League. They've still got some quality players there.
Bonny.
They've got Wilfred Bonny playing up front. They obviously stuck him up top with the other big lad at the end as well.
Ollie McBurney.
And I was worried. And I'm getting to the point now. I tweeted it after the game. I'm actually now at the point where I'm not going to pretend anymore. Like, we are the real deal. Of course, people know I went to see... We'll go on to talk about it in a minute, I'm sure. I went to see, obviously, the Ipswich-West Brom fixture, sat in the West Brom end. And West Brom, of course, one of the better teams in the league. We look a cut of mustard above them. We really do. We play the ball faster, with more accuracy, and actually, most importantly, over anything right now, Jack, for me, I'd like to get your opinion on this. I think the difference between us and all the other teams is we're taking our chances. And that's something in seasons gone by, last season, the season before, and the season before last, I remember I've had so many rants with you, fan cam after the game saying, take your chances, kill games off. And we're finally doing it. And it's an absolute testament to Daniel Farke. It really is, because I think whatever he's doing is working. I think that all of the players, because of the fact that they are, in a sense, slightly... I don't know, they're wild cards, aren't they? And Timu Pukki, for example, these are players that are all proving a point. Timu Pukki, by the way, Tom Huckabee. I'm looking forward to seeing that tattoo on your derriere.
I must admit, when Tom tweeted, if you don't know, and Chris has been the man that's kind of kept pulling this up, so Tom, apologies for Chris's behaviour.
Well, actually, his own old man called him out on it as well.
And said, has he got the balls? But when Tom tweeted it and said, if Timu Pukki scores 10 league goals this season, I'll get a tattoo of his name on my rear end, I thought he's probably quite safe. He scored them by November, and it's an interesting point you raised there, Chris, about the clinicalness in front of goal. I think Marco Born-Score Goals Stiepermann said that's been one of the main differences, is their ability to kill games off when they get a few chances. 4-1 at Swansea, I mean, that's an incredibly impressive result. I was listening to Paddy Davitt talk about it. He called the performance, there was an air of a good arrogance about Norwich City in terms of they kind of know that they're a good side now, and they're not afraid. I can remember sitting with you watching us against Leeds when we lost 3-0, and it felt like we were scared of them that day.
We were.
And we gave them too much respect. And it's interesting to see, isn't it, that in a couple of months, how the dynamic has just completely changed.
Well, I said, Jack, that, post, and I stick by my words, I think that game, that hiding, because it was a hiding, it wasn't. I know 3-0 isn't that large of a scoreline, but I think it was a humiliation in the sense that it was just so easy for them, in my opinion. And actually, I saw a couple of Leeds fans tweeting at the weekend. There was a brilliant tweet that I quote retweeted, which was that I can't remember what it says now, but it's something like, I can't believe the worst thing we could have done was smash Norwich, because now they've turned into a vintage Brazil. But it's nice that teams are fearing us, and of course we've got the game against Hull, which will be tonight when you're listening to this, maybe tomorrow if you listen to it another time. Again, that is a potential banana skin. But again, this is another test. I mean, each game is a test in my eyes for different reasons. But you go away to Hull, and of course, was it the last season or the season before where we really screwed it up? Yeah. Where we lost 4-3.
That was last season. Madison's got a hat-trick.
Yeah, absolutely. Madison, underrated Madison. So let's see what we can do this year. Let's judge the improvement yet again.
It's interesting though, isn't it? Because, you've said there, you're starting to believe, you think we're the real deal, and I look at this side and go, there's not really...
I don't think, I know.
You know, okay, cool. I'm also getting to that stage, but at the same time, I'm going into each game. It's the same with the game against Hull. Hull currently 23rd, we'll preview that shortly. But I'm still not going into this game expecting a win. I think it's going to be tough. So what changes? Because I can remember under Alex Neil and previous regimes, when we've been nearer the top of the league, I've been going into these types of games thinking we're going to win that. We're going to win that. And it doesn't always materialise into a win. Something's a bit different this year. I feel like expectations have maybe been managed, but I still feel like we're overachieving a little bit. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, I mean, it's an extremely healthy place to be, both from a supporter's point of view, from the players' point of view, because the players will be thinking, let's keep this run going. Let's go 7, let's go 8, let's go 9, let's try and get to double figures. So I think that, the players will be thinking, let's try and get some points on the board now, before the really, really busy Christmas schedule.
Yeah.
So that's why we smashed November. I think the players will be thinking we need to get these points up now. And I think that, as I said, it's very, very healthy. I think this year is different psychologically. I think that they are so much mentally stronger, i.e. if Hull do score the first goal tomorrow, I have every confidence that we've got the ability to go on and win that game. In seasons gone by, we would have rolled over and died.
100%. I want to talk about a player that I think we both sat here about 4 or 5 months ago and maybe not wrote him off, but we weren't overly sure with the signing. And in recent months, you've been a massive fan. Goes by the name of Emi Buendia. You've got money on him tomorrow with fans bet. He's now scored a goal or assisted a goal
Yeah, I saw that stuff.
in the last 5 games. Over the 10 years that Wes Hoolahan was here, he didn't achieve that feat. Thank you to NCFC Numbers for that stat. Now, I know it's not the best comparison, but at the same time, it shows what an impact Emin Buendia is having on this squad.
First of all, I hope no one is stupid enough to actually think that Buendia is already better than Wes.
No, we're not
Wes
saying
was here
that.
for much longer, absolute club legend. Good, I'm pleased. But what it does show is that he has the wow factor, he has the X factor, he's performing, and I have an apology to make, and I'm sure Jack will join me on this as well. We said it stinks of Sergi Canos. Sometimes we have to hold our hands up. The guy is smashing it, he's delivering, but actually in a sense, when Canos came, I had the same feeling. You looked at Canos and you thought technical ability. He's a fighter. He's a beaver. You know what I mean? He's gonna really put everything into it.
Great head of hair,
pace, Barnet.
To be fair to us though, and I know we're often wrong. I think more times than we are right. But with Sergi Canos, I'd probably argue that he was mismanaged slightly. I think
absolutely he was mismanaged.
And I think if Emi Buendia was brought in under an Alex Neil or an Alan Irvine or a Neil Adams, we would have been in the exact same position.
Very good point. Very good point.
Let's be kind to ourselves.
What I love about Buendia is his defensive capabilities as well. I know it sounds
really
a bit hipster,
no.
but I think that yes, he's delivering up top, but he's so good at tracking back. And,
I agree.
You know, I was talking to one of the Norwich fans came up to me today, and we were talking about how many years have we lacked pace on both sides.
Yeah.
We look dangerous from both sides. And normally, so even you look back at the days of Hucks playing, it was, well, as long as we can just fill in over on the left or the right, wherever Hucks is, we'll chuck an extra man. But now, how do you deal with it?
Yeah.
You've got Max and you've got Buendia on one side. You've got Jamal and Hernandez. I mixed those two up, but you get the point. You've got both of those lines. There's so much energy there. It's impossible to deal with it on both counts. And if you have a man in the middle that can play it around, that can be the navigator of that, such as Leitner. Sadly, he's out for the whole game, of course. But Stiepermann is absolutely ample in that role to do that job.
And I think you raise a good point there about having that pace down the wings. And I think we have had pace in previous years. You look at Murphy, you look at Redmond, you look at maybe Yannick Vilskut. But what they didn't offer was that defensive prowess, and it allows you've got double the goodness because Buendia tracks back. It allows Aarons to get forward. Hernandez, it doesn't mind chipping in. Redmond didn't track back as well as these two do. The Murphys didn't. I'm not saying it's their job.
Well, Redmond had a lack of final. Sorry to interrupt. Redmond had a lack of final product. I still think he's got that raw talent, and I did think he was a good player, but he couldn't cross the bloody ball.
No.
Josh, in fairness, spoke to Josh. Josh says to me, I wish, because we were watching, I can't remember what was the game, the Legends game, the Inter-Legends game in the box, eating prawn sandwiches. And he says to me, I wish that I had a target man like Grant Holt to aim for. Because he didn't. He had someone that was drifting in and out. So in his defence, I can understand why it wasn't as effective.
Yeah.
And again, if you think about it now, could Josh do it for us now in this system? Absolutely, yes. But for me, I think, to be honest, I think that Hernandez is a much better player on that side.
And that's fascinating because I was listening to, we'll get onto the AGM in a moment, but I heard Stuart Whatever talking to our very own Connor Southwell about, he was asked the question,
Love Southwell.
Do you think the sales of James Maddison and Josh Murphy has benefited us? And he said, in a way, because we've had another summer, we've brought in more players that fit our system, but I would have loved to have seen them players in this system. So maybe you're right about a Murphy.
What is interesting on the note of Stuart Webber is his line about Buendia, about how there's been lots of hype around Hernandez, arguably the fans' favourite going into the start of this season. And there's a line coming out of that AGM from Webber, I believe, that says, well, you haven't seen anything yet because watch Buendia.
Yeah.
And how exciting is that to hear that from the man at the top of the chain right now? That's big stuff.
And I keep forgetting he's 21 as well. I keep thinking he's like mid-20s.
I'm ridiculously impressed. Honestly, put this on record, I'll be very, very, very surprised if he keeps this up, that he doesn't get sold next summer, because it will have to, because someone will come in for massive money and we'll have to take it, sadly. But if he keeps delivering like he is now, I don't want to talk it up, I'm talking it up, but you get my point. He's so exciting to watch, full of energy.
talking about players that maybe don't look their age, how is Grant Hackney like 28? I thought he was like 47. How he must have had a tough paper round when he was a kid. He's 26 or 28?
He's Scottish, isn't he?
Bloody hell, I know, but
he's been from the school of Stuart Hodge, isn't he? So.
I couldn't believe it. Anyway, he's got a new contract. Have we talked about that before?
Yeah, we have.
Okay.
I've highly praised it. I think it's a great move by the club. And how nice is it to be able to say that we've got such a good backup player in Grant Hanley? Yeah. That's massive.
Mad. Our next 3 games: Hull away, Rotherham at home, Bolton at home. Them 3 games, them 3 teams are 3 of the bottom 6. Hull are only one of the just above Ipswich, who are of course rock bottom at the moment. Hull haven't been great, but Chris, you look at this. We've won 6 games in a row. On paper,
exciting, isn't it?
On paper, these 3 games at the start of the season, you would have gone, if we want to be up there in the top 6, they're the games you need to be winning. Michael Bailey tweeted out, and I think he got it right. He said, look, these are the next 3 games. I don't want to talk things up, but there's a real good chance to consolidate our chances in the top 6 here. I've got that kind of nervous energy about me.
Absolutely.
And I feel like something...
And what I like,
these next 3 games are so big.
And yeah, but what I like is the fact that if you look at I can't remember who did the comparison on Twitter, so sorry for not crediting you here. Look at the other teams at the top of the table and who they've played. They've already played the guys down the bottom. They've still got the big games to come. We've now got 3, in my opinion, very winnable games. I'm expecting 6 points, but
out of how many? 3 games.
But I'm absolutely of the belief that we can get all 9.
Okay.
But I'm just thinking Hull. Yeah. I look at Hull and I think we're tired.
Yeah.
Lightner out is a massive miss. Yeah. But then someone comes in wanting to make an impression. And for me, it's bloody good times. And I look back at all of my... God, this is going to sound really big now. I'm getting quite emotional. I look back at the times that I've most enjoyed supporting Norwich, and this feels like it could be one of those times. It does feel special right now.
There's a good mood around the club, isn't there?
And I want everyone. I hope everyone enjoys it, and people are wanting to be sceptical. But why?
Yeah.
Let's just go into it and just say, you know what? Yeah, try and beat us. It's not about the opponent anymore. And how refreshing is that as a Norwich City fan for the opposition to be fearing us, and that instantly puts them on the back foot before they've even started the game.
100%. I want to quickly just mention a former player quickly, Leon Barnett. I was really disappointed to see the news today that he's been forced to retire due to heart problems. He's currently at Northampton, of course. I think he came through the ranks at Luton and probably scored one of my most, I don't know why, but one of my most memorable goals. His header against Sunderland. Or was it? No, it was a cut back cross, and Leon Barnett smashed it in front of the Barclays.
Big Leon B.
I think it was one of the first games under the lights. It was on Sky. Can you remember when Sky used to send them big inflatable things up in the air and get a nice panoramic view? Mm-hmm. There was one of them in the air. There was the sausage rolls coming off Morrison's car park. There was a real good vibe about the place, and Barnett scored that night, and I'll love him for always.
Well, Barnett was here for the good times, wasn't he? Well, I say the good times as if I'm an OAP and I'm about to stack it. Barnett was here for one of the best times supporting Norwich City, of course, under the Judas. But it's very sad news. I was watching the Ryan Mason interview, and it is fascinating to see how players deal with these things. I sincerely hope that he gets a job in football.
100%. I think I was staying at a hotel in Luton last year ahead of a flight out of Luton Airport, and I was shocked to see. Well, I wasn't shocked.
Not London City, no.
Not London City Airport, no, Luton Airport. I was flying to Berlin. And on the front of the free paper in Luton, I think it was the equivalent of the Great Yarmouth Advertiser, Leon Barnett's Academy was on the front page, very similar to Dale Gordon's soccer school that I'm sure you've been to.
I went to Robert Fleck's.
You went to, of course. You're a striker. Right, AGM. First of all, I think this is, we talk about the culture, we talk about on the pitch. A lot's going on off the pitch as well. I was very happy to receive a call off Joe Ferrari, the head of media at Norwich City. What's his job title? Head of media? Head of communications? PR?
Legend at media team.
Exactly. And he said, Jack, talk Norwich City. we'd like to invite you to cover the AGM officially, because Stuart Webber has said that he wants fan media there. So it was us, Along Come Norwich, and My Football Writer who got the invite. Sadly, we couldn't make it, but the content is over on My Football Writer and Along Come Norwich. Go check it out if you haven't already. But just really refreshing that Stuart Webber, who me and you kind of know, not well, but we've spoke to on a few occasions, is embracing this fan culture.
Well, it's not just Stuart Webber. First of all, I think that it's Delia, it's Michael. I think it's the new executive committee. I think it's very obvious that this culture is now ingrained, and the sceptics will say, well, it's easy to invite the fan media when we're at the top of the table.
But it was happening when it wasn't going so well as well.
But good bloody on them, and fight and ride the wave, and one of the things that people might not necessarily appreciate, but if you look at other football clubs in the English league system, there's not many clubs that do fan media like we do. And we can only speak for ourselves, Jack. We've been given, a couple of really good opportunities in the past. Hopefully, going to get another couple of big opportunities soon as well. So I think it speaks tremendous volumes of just how much of an effort that our club are trying to make to engage fans properly, because people are so past that plastic corporate spiel that everyone can read through. There was people moaning at the AGM wasn't used with in the right way with like the questions and stuff. But for me, I just think it's just communication.
Yeah.
I don't think really it's all about annual general meeting. I just think it's a conversation, no matter what it is. Whether it's the Norwich Business Network event, which we attended, of course, the AGM, Webber or at the time Steve Stone, doing a thing at the start of the season. It's just conversations. Keeping those conversations up with either supporters or shareholders is good in no matter what form. So kudos to the football club for doing that.
And I think, we haven't been doing this for tons of time, and if you speak to a Michael Bailey or someone else, they'll have even kind of heightened opinions on this. But, we've had situations in the past where we've gone to the club or the club have come to us and they didn't want us to be doing what we were doing. And journalists have been banned from going to Colney because they don't want certain things said. It's the complete opposite now, and I think that's really good to see. One of the things that I picked up on that Ed Balls said is although we're at the top of the table, we don't want fans to get carried away. We don't want them to think that we fixed everything yet. We're just enjoying the moment, and I think that's important as well. We're top of the table. Let's get carried away. That's what football fans about. But we're also going to be in a sticky financial situation in 6 months' time. We're going to be in debt again. So
it is a case of top of the league having a laugh, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's nice that Ed Balls and Stuart Webber aren't going, well, feet up, lads, let's have a jolly. They're not going to get complacent.
They're being real.
And I think that's a good thing.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's ridiculously wise. I think it's so nice that they're just brutally honest. That they're not covering things up. There's clearly... but the people behind the scenes clearly really care.
Yeah.
I think that they are respecting the badge on the front of their suit, tie, shirt.
Of course, fitted at Slater's by our good friend Simon Cheeseman, who, by the way, complimented
I was going to say that.
Shirt.
He was the only person, though, and I think
But he's the only person who works in fashion.
But he's the only person that takes money from you for clothes.
Maybe. My mum complimented it. Does that count?
In which case, I'm wrong.
There we go, then.
Anyway, keep going.
No, you didn't answer my question.
What was the question? Hit me.
Ed Balls. He's a nice guy.
Great speaker.
Yeah.
Great lad. Follows the TalkNorwichCity account.
He does, actually. Yeah, thanks for that, Ed.
Didn't respond to my last DM. But
Not so much thanks for that, Ed. No, he's a top boy.
Top boy.
No, and Ed Balls. And Ben Kensel.
And Ben Dack.
Yeah, top boy.
Goes to David Lloyd, of course, the greatest gym in Norwich.
Ben Kensel loves Tampa. You love Tampa.
Oh, I've got.
Do I love Tampa?
Yeah,
I don't know. Do I?
Yeah.
Been there once for Busch Gardens.
Go on, let's talk about this Tampa tour.
Come on, big boy. Let's do it.
You sat here with Bailey, gave it large. Oh, the Tampa tour's going to damage our run. Well, where are you now?
I said, look, I was listening to a man that you've complimented greatly, and you have a lot of respect for, Daniel Farker, who said, look, we're only going to fulfil commercial responsibilities. That was done. Happy days. Get a bit of cash from I don't know who. Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Is that what they're called?
Possibly, yes.
Top up the town on Aston. He had a good time out there.
Yeah.
And
good.
And
he
come
deserves
home with
it.
a few what they call Jolly Rogers or the sweets. Actually, no, not sweets. Anyway,
Tampa tour's great.
And we won in South Wales. Mm-hmm. Should we get on to some Twitter questions?
Yeah, let's.
Right, okay.
Let's do that.
Okay, Twitter question time. We never quite know what we're getting ourselves into. I changed the questions slightly on Twitter this week, and I asked for questions, life queries, and statements, because rarely do we actually get a question nowadays. It's more. I think this is more therapy for all of us. So join in the therapy session over at TalkNorwichCity on Twitter. You've got a new phone, Chris. Very nice it is.
Yep, thank you.
You can ask the questions this week.
Yeah,
on your
okay.
new HD screen.
Should we alternate? By the way,
no, you do it all.
Right, I'm doing it all.
You pick up the work.
Superb. Right, here we go then. I'm going off the Talk Norwich City replies. Yeah?
Okay, cool.
Good. So, now I've got to proofread some of these.
No, don't proofread them.
Don't proofread. Just literally just go.
That's boring.
Let's go for a non-football related one to start off with.
Always promising.
What's your best ever Black Friday / Cyber Monday pickup?
You know what? I'm not really like a buying man. I don't buy much stuff.
All right.
I don't.
All right. What'd you get? Giving it for free?
No, I don't have much stuff, really. And if I do want something, I don't wait to then get lured into this false commercial game.
I'll tell you mine.
Go on then.
Amazing. This year, okay, and the missus is in love with it, and I'm not joking.
We're not talking
and this isn't banter, and this is not banter, this is not a drill. We have recently purchased the most incredible shark hoover.
You know what?
And it's
you got it out for me when I came in.
And I tell you what, it's got a massive nozzle.
Yeah.
First and foremost. It's got some real good suction power.
Nice.
And I think we got something like a £200 discount.
How much was the bloody hoover?
But mate, it's all like touch screen. It folds in half.
Becky was showing me the LEDs on it.
There's LEDs on the end of the actual nozzle, so you can see every little bit of grain of dust. And that's one of the things that you just massively don't appreciate.
So had you researched the Hoover market before?
Bless her heart, my missus did very much.
Because
yes,
I thought it was a Dyson or a Henry. There was no other option.
Here we go.
Sharp. Good.
How much money do you think we could get for Pookie in Jan? And by the way, thought Chris in the West Brom end on Friday was brilliant.
Nice.
Well, please, someone liked it.
Nothing for Pookie because we're not selling him.
Yep, true, like that.
What were you doing in Ipswich on Friday night? Questionable from you.
I've got to clear this up because I think a lot of people don't understand. So, but in fairness, I didn't announce it. I didn't really want to announce it because it looks a bit arrogant. So, basically,
I did see you tweeting that you were phoning Alan Brazil. That's always a questionable phone call to make.
Yeah, because my old man knows Alan Brazil. Anyway, so basically, Wes gives us his. When a player plays for a club,
yes,
you get family tickets.
Yes.
So your friends and family get XYZ tickets. Now, obviously, Wes didn't want to subject his family to Ipswich Town Football Club. So instead, he gave it to old Chris Reeve and co. So me, my old man, Mystic Manson went. We sat in the West Brom end. We didn't hook up with Braz in the end. Not that I'd like him anyway. And yeah, it was a laugh. We just went to enjoy ourselves. I mean, Norwich weren't playing. I wanted to see the stark contrast between the top and the bottom of the league, just to see the absolute chasm in full
nice.
In full oomph.
Yeah, gulf.
And I must say that the Baggies fans were great. They were good.
I quite like West Brom.
Quite a variant of chants. Quite loud. The boing boing thing is a bit weird. When they score, they just grab each other and they just go boing 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 boing. It's all a bit weird.
But harmless fun.
But I quite enjoyed, and actually it gave me quite a nice perspective on the Championship in general. And what I would say is, and we go back to that West Brom game at Carrow Road. I don't think they've improved. I mean,
they did beat us on the day.
Yeah, but my point was they were defensively woeful.
Yeah.
Up top, they missed chances. We did too. I still think West Brom will be there or thereabouts. I think they've got such good quality in their squad, but they do look a bit gangly. They missed 3 or 4 sitters.
Okay.
But there was a couple in the first half, a couple in the second half. Jay Rodriguez missed from like 4 yards out. I'm not sure if you watched it on Sky, but. So yeah, that was what I was doing there. Wes gave me tickets for free. I didn't pay. That was the other thing. People were like, I can't believe you've paid. You've given Ipswich money. I wouldn't give Ipswich money ever in my life.
Except if Norwich are playing. Good. Well, I'm glad you had a nice time.
Yeah. Anyway, so next question is, how will Kenny McLean fit back into the team? Will he? I really like the look of him early on this season, but now with Cantwell, Tribal on the bench. This is, by the way, from JM.
Yeah, you're forgetting to say
Bevington, who, by the way, let's check out his bio. Here we go. Father and husband, soccer fanatic. Oh, soccer.
Is he American?
Multimedia video producer for Canadian Heritage. Hello, girls. Someone's a big hitter.
Yeah, living the dream.
Based in Canada. Big up to the TNC fans in Canada.
So, what was the question?
McLean. Where is he getting back in?
I also... What was the chat's name? JM? Jameson.
JM Bevington.
Jameson. I agree with Jameson. I really like the look of McLean earlier on in the season, but I'm not saying it was just him, but we weren't winning games when he was in the side. Leitner comes in the side, and Tete...
Very early on in the season, though, Jack.
100%, and we start winning games. We'll get onto it in a bit. I am slightly fearful about Leitner's injury. If any player was going to injured, he would be the last one I'd wanted to, just because I don't think we've got a player that replicates how Leitner plays, but McLean is a bloody good option to have off the bench. I think he's the most like Johnny Howson since we sold Johnny Howson. I think he's got an ability to go box to box quite nicely.
Yeah.
And he's got that Scottish bite.
Talk about strength and depth, by the way.
Yeah.
Ridiculously impressive. Anyway, next question. This is from Patrick Gardiner, NCFC fan, born in Lincolnshire.
Ooh,
he's got
nice.
a club picture as his profile picture from Lincoln.
What's the club called?
The club is called Love Doe. I'm not sure which one of these legends he
Doe
is.
as in
But there you
bread
go.
dough, or...
Yeah. Anyway, bit questionable. Do you think we could survive the Premier League playing our current style of football? And do you think we could finish top 10? Assuming also strengthen the team.
So are we assuming we're definitely going to...
Yeah,
okay.
For conversation's sake,
Love
we're in
the
the Prem.
optimism.
We're in the Prem.
Well, it's funny, isn't it, Chris? Because, we look back, 4 or 5 months ago, and we were going, well, I kind of wish we were in the Premier League because we're very good against Arsenal, very good against Chelsea, came up against Cardiff this season, wiped them off the park, should have probably beaten Bournemouth. You'd probably argue that Farke's style of football was, I'm not sure if it still is, was more suited to the Premier League. Could we survive in the Premier League with this current squad? No. Could we with the money we get? Undoubtedly, yes, I think.
Well, you saw against Chelsea and Arsenal in the cup games. We weren't capable of coping with it.
I don't fear it at all. I don't fear anything. But the only thing I do fear is spiders. Don't like them.
Good.
I would say the gulf, the gap in the Premier League is ever widening. And you look... I think if we were to get in the Premier League, the highest we could finish is probably like 12th for a little while.
And I'm absolutely okay with that.
What about you? Do you think we could survive?
Yeah,
Why are we talking about that just now?
Yeah, we probably shouldn't. Let's lower expectations. Matt Johnson.
Matt, good to see you.
Great, profile pick. Playing at Carrow, of course.
Carrow,
yeah, he absolutely loves it.
Bit of
the game.
Bit of an Almander is Matt Johnson. Good play.
How much has TalkNorwichCity's profile been raised in recent weeks, especially within Suffolk, it appears, Wingface?
Now, Matt works in Suffolk, so he probably knows more about that area than me. Things are going well. I think a common misconception with fan channels is that we do better when things are going bad. That's definitely not true. All we have to do now is love Farkball on Twitter and it will get 600 retweets, which is brilliant.
I think there's a lot of, in terms of the Suffolkness, there's a lot of salty Ipswich fans. I mean, that's why Ipswich fans got annoyed at me on Twitter, bless their hearts, because I rocked up unscathed, escaped again. They couldn't beat me up, bless them. They lost again, and they're just extremely salty people.
I've tweeted about in the last.
You right? Can I just say something? Right. So obviously, I do the majority of the social stuff for TNC. Can I just confirm that Jack is the one tweeting all of the stuff at Ipswich Town?
I don't know exactly, but I think probably I've put out tweets with the word Ipswich in, I reckon about 8 times in the last month. Maybe not even that. And every single one, you guarantee gets about 5 replies why are you so obsessed with us? Imagine if Ipswich were top of the table and we were bottom.
Yeah.
They would be loving it.
Imagine if they came above us on goal difference and started throwing street parties.
Yeah,
exactly. Anyway, let's move away from the scum. And we've got a question here from Reese. Swansea City home and away.
I love him.
15 years old, season ticket holder for 3 years, got a picture with the Welsh flag in there.
Good old boy.
You love a bit of Welsh, don't you, Jack?
I do.
Do you think Tim Krul is good enough in the Premier League? Brackets, if you get there. By the way, thought you outclassed us Saturday. Hope you continue to do well. That's very nice.
I love
isn't
Swansea.
it?
I do like Swansea.
Thanks,
as a club,
Reece.
actually.
Top man.
I do like Swansea as a club. I think there's a question about Tim Krul later on, so we'll combine the two.
Okay.
And I think
Oh yeah, sorry to say, Tim, but goalie needed.
I think everyone knows, my thoughts on Ray Matthews and Tim Krul, so maybe my opinion is slightly biased, and I do understand that. I think Tim Krul is adequate. I wouldn't say he's an amazing goalkeeper, and he's certainly not the goalkeeper that people made him out to be, and rightly so. They were basing him off performances from 4 years ago. I think the criticism from the weekend was slightly harsh. I think the experience he brings...
Didn't expect that from you.
I think the experience he brings to the team puts confidence in the defence in front of him. The defence have been good. I think they probably he installed slightly more confidence than what Remy would have done. So I think that's good. I think his handling from crosses is a much better. But whenever a low shot is hit towards him, and you can't say this is bias, he has looked shaky a lot this season. And there's been goals conceded that have
Should
been
the
his
defence
fault.
not be following that up?
I think that is definitely a factor, but he should have held that. However,
I agree.
I think if you look at, I watch the Championship highlights every week, and there's always a few mistakes from goalkeepers. So it's definitely not Tim Krul on his own. I think he's adequate in the Championship. I wouldn't say he's exceptional. He's 10 times better than Michael McGovern. I think he does a job.
Yep, good. I don't disagree with anything you've just said.
Wow, really?
Yeah, Finn Stevens. He's just gone for the classic black and white profile picture. He's got a bit of Timu Pukki celebrating, I think, against Millwall in his cover photo. Having a dig at Ipswich fans in his last few tweets. Watch out for the copyright. Who would you two like to see replace Leitner if he is unavailable for Hull?
And he
Confirmed
is.
today he is unavailable. Finn.
I think.
Mystic Finn.
Yeah. I would...
I don't really know, by the way.
What would I do? I think I'd throw Tribal in there next to Tete.
I love Tribal. I love Tommy Tribal.
I think that's... so let's look at this. What options have we got? We've got Tom Tribal, we've got Mario Vrancic, we could drop Marco Stiepman deeper and play a Cantwell or someone in front of him.
Oh, yeah.
You like him?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. Cantwell connecting the front. Oh, yes.
really?
Oh, so much interest.
So-
That's just wow. Give me goosebumps.
Nice. That's
No. Seriously, all banter
So
aside,
Stiepman-
that really turns me on.
Okay.
Cantwell going forwards with the ball. I like
But what
that.
about Stiepman in midfield?
Yeah. Drop him deep.
Yeah?
I love that.
You
from
go
you.
for that?
I
Not-
really
but
like
you
that.
love
from you.
Tommy Tribal.
I love Tommy Tribal, but Marco's doing it for me at the moment.
Wow.
Good. Did Chris, this is from Jack WBA22, did Chris enjoy his time in the West Brom end Saturday, and what did he think of the team and us Albion fans? Kind of answered that already.
I like Dwight Gale, and I like Harvey Barnes.
Mate, and he scored.
Yeah.
And Barnes looks good.
Yeah, Barnes is a good player.
Yeah.
Who's that commanding midfielder as well? He scored against us as well at Carrow Road. Forgot his name.
Little interest. But Dwight Gale coming on as a sub, that shows where West Brom are at. They should gain momentum.
Amazing away kit as well.
Yeah, I mean, again, that's why I just wanted to see another team in yellow and green win at Carrow Road, Portman Road yet again.
And Carrow Road.
Here we go.
Is this Tom?
Oh, Tom. Right.
Wait, I know Tom. Top boy.
Tom Calden. Here he is. Mad Hatter.
Former Luton Town keeper.
Hello, girls. We're going up in the world with these questions, aren't we? Mad Hatter and custodian of the onion bag. He's a GK. Which is more embarrassing fashion faux pas? Dennis Rabeni's icon snapback, or Jack's turtleneck sweater? # French mime artist. Well, I know the answer to that, Tom, and I can tell you right now, it's Jack's turtleneck. Sweater.
I think to pull off.
Imagine Dennis Rabeni in your turtleneck with the icon. But you know what?
Got time for
It would
that.
be acceptable
Yeah,
if he wore it.
because he's Dennis.
Because he's an icon.
Although I just want to quickly pick up on a point.
What a question from him.
We were tweeted last week by one of our followers who I think is like a bit of a hat enthusiast to say that apparently the icon hat isn't a snapback and it's in fact something else.
Yeah,
what is a snapback?
I think no, right. So
what's the difference?
Right. I mean, I think the younger people are going to kill me now. So, hello, girls.
That's your phone.
Snapback is like flat.
That's what I thought his was.
No. His is an arched cap.
Oh.
Snapback, cap. There you go. Anyway, right, next question.
So what's more embarrassing?
Your turtleneck. Everyone thinks that, apart from you, Simon Cheeseman, and your mum. It's a bit worrying. Next question is from Lewis Fuller.
Lewis, good old boy.
Norwich City Central, big up. Like those guys. Question is, Gareth Southgate's waistcoat or Daniel Farke's parka? That could be question of the night.
Yeah, and you know what? This is probably one of the most alarming stats. Farke wasn't wearing his green parka at the weekend, and we still won.
I mean,
like, what else?
Should we be worried?
No, I think we've basically now won the league by March. Because that was my only worry, that if he maybe got it dirty or lost it, we would be screwed. He changed the colour, we still won, we're going to win the league.
He needs to go to a better laundrette, quite clearly. I'm going for Southgate's waistcoat, though. Light and shade. I just think that, I mean, he brought it back in fashion, didn't he?
Was it ever out of fashion? Simon Cheeseman would argue.
I mean, yeah, very true.
And don't argue.
Put it this way: you would have worn a waistcoat on this podcast before Gareth.
You know what?
It wouldn't be cool.
I've never been a massive fan of the waistcoat, but
right, I like this from Hanley's Head.
Good to see.
Thoughts on the "Together We Are Stronger" video?
Love that. Hayley Brasnett, what a girl.
Hayley loved it.
So if people don't know,
loved it.
It was the video that they played before the AGM, and then they've released it on their YouTube and all of that. Just a bit of a wakes me up in the morning.
This is the kind of thing that I said that we need. We need that passion, and I just think that Hayley, of course, is in the media team. She just captured that really nicely, and I loved it, and it kind of got me a bit emotional. Actually, it reminded me about why I love Norwich City so much. Next question: Norwich City Central. Yeah, but this is from their official account now. How much did Chris regret going to Barcelona to watch the second best footballer from Argentina instead of watching the man himself, Emi Buendia?
I'd probably say the third best.
Favourite that tweet.
Actually fourth, behind Becchio, and Gutierrez, and our man Buendia. You're
Messi's
such a hipster though. You love that kind of stuff.
But Messi is. Right, on a serious note, right, and I used to, and there's a lot of hype around Ronaldo and Messi, and it's completely justified. I've always kind of put in a box and gone, yeah, they're ridiculous, but just you don't really appreciate it until you see him live, and you know, the ball sticks to his feet, you know, and what he can do with the ball is something else. It reminds me of a kind of slightly less Todd Canwell. Anyway, quickly moving on.
It's just not as good hair as Todd either.
Here we go. This is an interesting question from Jamie Mann. Let's click on Jamie.
Good to see you.
He's a power nap enthusiast.
Now this is
and he supports the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Does he?
He's clearly been on the Tampa tour.
I just wanted to ask you, I was listening to a podcast the other week and they were debating about power naps. What is the difference between a power nap and a nap? How long does the power nap cut off?
I mean, you know, if you're watching on YouTube, leave your comments below at this stage because I'm out there. I mean, the power nap in my eyes is an hour or so.
Bloody hell. I was thinking you were going to say like 20 minutes.
Oh, maybe it is. Maybe we've got it wrong.
I would say an hour is a nap.
Anyway, people aren't here to listen to napping debates. Jamie Mann says, which team is better, the current Norwich side or the squad that achieved promotion via the playoffs in 2015? This year seems to have more of a team mentality rather than a few exceptional talents, in my opinion.
I'd probably say this year's one. I'm enjoying watching them more.
Okay.
Because let's not forget as well...
That's interesting.
The season we went up under Alex Neil, I think at like Christmas, maybe a bit before Christmas, we were about 13th, I think. And then we went on that unbelievable run. Actually, that was under Neil Adams, I lie. And then he got sacked and Alex Neil was brought in. It was after the third round of the FA Cups, about, when's that, January time, I think. That was an unbelievable run from Alex Neil and very, very good fun. But I think the team we've got at the moment is a bit better. Yeah,
no, I like your style. By the way, am I allowed to read out that question?
Yeah.
Okay. So Freddie says, when can you stop being obsessed with Ipshit and start offering more technical game analysis / getting current player interviews?
So, okay, valid question. For proper game analysis, go to TalkNorwichCity.com. Connor Southwell provides loads of great content on there, about 3 or 4 articles a week, all lovely stuff.
Quite a lot of content.
We have usually a respected journalist or a current or an ex-player here every week.
Yeah.
Instead, it's just us talking nonsense this week. So, Freddie, kind of playing into your question a bit. We have got players coming on in the coming weeks. We have also got someone very well known regarding Norwich City coming on in a few weeks. So, Freddie, I'm sure you've unsubscribed already. If you have, not a massive loss, but stick around.
I mean, what I would say is actually what's quite nice. And again, we go back to the fan media at Norwich City. I think that we all complement each other. You know,
Yes.
I think if you want that real statistical depth of stats and stuff like that, head over to Paddy Davitt, head over to Bailey. They smash the shit out of it every week, and I love reading their stuff.
But they're not fan media, are they?
No, they're not, but I mean the
My
media
Football
in
Writer.
general.
Yeah,
I mean
yeah.
the media in
Yeah, yeah.
general. And then, we talk about Norwich City, My Football Writer. You know, stats backed up with such tremendous opinion and various different points there. Of course, along come Norwich, who are also absolutely fantastic at what they do. You know, they play on humour a lot, and they also have a great podcast. So
Although
if you
Andrew
don't-
Lawn's arguing about it's fine not beating the first round from corners.
Yeah,
It's
that's
proper
stinking.
fraudulent.
That's stinking.
I'll never
Absolutely
agree with that.
stinking. But what I would say is, I mean, if you don't like us, just go and follow one of the other fan channels.
But put a bet on the fans bet first.
Here we go. Here's a big question.
Okay.
Huge question
Okay.
from Stephen Garnham.
Ah, good old boy, Steve.
He says, "Up the Pirates." He's got a cover photo playing cricket. Anyway,
Even more respect.
let's go back to the question: would you rather eat shit flavoured chocolate or chocolate flavoured shit?
Chocolate flavoured shit because it tastes of chocolate, not shit. Surely that's a simple question, isn't it?
Yeah, but if a shit tasted of chocolate, oh no, flavoured. Oh no, chocolate flavoured shit. Then no.
No, yeah, because it tastes of chocolate, so it's basically chocolate. That's a stupid question,
Oh
Steve.
Jesus Christ, we've gone way off here, haven't we? Tristan Long, I like this. Tristan is
I love the
basically
name Tristan.
Tristan is here we
Tristan
go.
Abrahams.
Here we go, girls. Tristan has been on the hashtag Tampa tour because his DP is with Mo Leitner and of course the Messi of the championship being Emi Buendia.
Tampa tour.
By the way, here we go.
Does his dad own like
Ice hockey
securities or
brackets
something?
Tampa Bay Lightning.
Is this a thing?
Oh, again, he said he likes cricket. Oh, no. Anyway, so Tristan says, he's just described my fantasy.
Or cricket?
No, God, no. Zero interest. Tristan says, is Norwich getting promoted and Ipswich becoming relegated the definition of a perfect season?
Yes.
That, for me, is the stuff that I dream about on a regular basis.
And your Shark Hoover.
I would love to laugh at them. I really would, because they did it to us. See, people are like, oh, "You're obsessed with Ipswich. I don't know why you're going on so much because you're on top of the league." Blah blah blah. We're just having a bit of a laugh because if you forget, you know, when we went down to League One, we got so much abuse. So I'm going to enjoy it whilst they're bottom of the league, and every single week that they're bottom of the league, I will post my video across my social media channels, screen grabbing, recording the table going down with Time to Say Goodbye by Andrea Bocelli, because I enjoy it.
Yeah. However, I do think they'll beat Bristol in the week.
I was going
But
to say
they're
that.
going to be bottom of the league for at least another 7 days.
Well, they should definitely beat Bristol City at home.
Who've currently lost 4 in a row.
That is their game to win.
Yeah.
If they don't win that, seriously, like,
It might be time
that's
to say goodbye.
so bad.
Yeah.
That honestly, if they sit on a serious note, all bias aside, if they don't win against Bristol City, they are in serious trouble. Especially because the games after that, I believe they've got Forest, I think possibly. They've got a couple of really hard games.
Any more questions?
No, that's all the questions.
That's it. Well, thank you everyone
round.
for getting your questions in. Nice little session. Let's have a quick look ahead at this week's fixtures and chat about some other stuff too. Right, Chris. 2 games this week. Hull. That's a long old poke again, isn't it? After South Wales.
My worst away day ever.
Rory Brady scored the penalty, remember it well. So Hull, currently 23rd. We've kind of briefly spoke about it. Leitner is a major doubt, in the words of Daniel Farke. I think he's done his groin. That's a slight worry. Buendia should be okay, although he picked up a knock. I mean, where do we lie with this one? Hull, they were in the Premier League 18 months ago. They've still got some very good players on the books, but the club is a mess in terms of the owners, and they're not getting many fans through the doors. Former city of culture, let's please remember that.
Got it.
Look, this isn't an easy game. Daniel Farke said it.
Yeah, I think that's Daniel Farke being very good with the media. I'm not being arrogant, but I just genuinely believe that, you know, if you want to go up, if you want to have a good fighting chance, you've got to go into a game against Hull City. And you've got to be targeting the 3 points. You can't go there and sit back and just wait to hit them on the counter. And I don't think we won't for a second. What I will say is, yes, it'll be extremely tough. I think that they will sit back, and I think they'll suck up the early pressure from us. And I think they will try and hit us on the counter in a weird way. So, yeah, I think it is difficult, and it is a potential banana skin. But I've said that against Millwall. I said that against Swansea. I've said that in multiple games before that.
I suppose the thing is, and the biggest surprise, but I'm not sure if it's even like other teams being bad now. I looked at Swansea and went, bloody hell, they are awful defensively. Other than the same thing with Sheffield Wednesday, I went, wow, they're bad defensively. I think it might just be us being good going forwards, because I don't think Swansea had shipped 4 goals against the team except for us. I think the same with Sheffield Wednesday.
Yeah.
We're just really good going forwards, which is nice to see. And you just think, even if Hull are at 90% defensively, we're going to score a couple of goals. And you kind of bank on our defence not to concede more than 2.
Oh, God.
I've probably just jinxed us now. But
we will definitely concede.
Right, okay.
We're going to concede.
But even so, you still bank on us to score more, don't you?
Absolutely, yeah. You score 1, we'll score 2
and that's
more.
promising.
Yeah.
So, Hull, 23rd. Let's go and beat them.
Yeah.
Rotherham at home, which we haven't had a great record against Rotherham.
It's not nice, yeah.
Paul Warne, manager, Norfolk boy.
Of course, the manager
banana.
that you wanted at Norwich City Football Club 12 months ago.
For a little while, yeah, definitely. I think he would have done probably a good job. We might have even been, had more points than we do now. I'm only joking. It's all the Daniel Farke lovers, me included in that. Another winnable game. They're 19th in the league.
Yeah, you have to win that. I mean, they did get a surprising result very recently, which I was very impressed with. But apart from no, I was in a non-patronising way. But I think with a team like Rotherham, when they come to Norwich, they have literally got nothing to lose. So for them, it's like, let's just go out and play, which I think gives them some sort of psychological advantage in a sense. And I think from the other end, you've got the Norwich players who can be like, right, we've played some really good teams, and Rotherham on paper are pretty shite. So I think that there could be a psychological imbalance there. But yeah, for me, you've got to win those games. You've got to pick up 3 points, and I can't see them being able to handle Onel on one side, Buendia on the other. It's just like, it's impossible to last 90 minutes with both of those two players bombing on at you.
Yes. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Please do subscribe on iTunes and also on YouTube. If you haven't already, go put that little Timu Pookie special on. And also, see you at Rotherham at the weekend. But it's at Norwich, because we're playing Rotherham. Good to see you, my friend. Ciao.